Welcome, heroes and villains, to Fjook Enterprises YouTube channel. Stop your bickering and join us at Fjook's table while I, your host Fjook, discuss something that I am interested in with an expert or someone way more knowledgeable than I am on this subject. Today, I have Accalipup with me again, and we are again talking about multiple personality disorder, which proper name eludes me at the moment, but I'm going to let Accalipup introduce themselves further if they so wish.
Yes. So, hello, everybody. It's nice to be here. We are Accalipup, but I am Des. There are three of us, for those of you who didn't catch Fjook's last special. um, there is me, there's Kaylee, and there's Angel. So, Angel's the last one you spoke with, and I'm here today. So, yay. I'm excited to be a part of this.
From what I've gathered, you are one of the oldest personalities that have stuck around. Is that accurate?
Yes, yes. There was only one before me, and she was only out for the one time that we've seen her, and that was it. We haven't seen her since.
Do you miss her?
I don't really know because again, she wasn't here for very long. It's not like we got attached or got to know her or anything like that. So, I mean, we still have some emails from when she was out and talking to other people, and so we have communications from that time. But no, I can't say that I miss her. Unfortunately, it's not like as if Kaylee were to go or I were to go, and there's like an established relationship there. It's a lot different.
As one of the other personalities, what's it like?
Terrifying because you never know when you're going to be around. You never know when you're going to be a disappointment. Like today, for example, um, I don't choose when I show up, but I show up in inconvenient times, and it's again, I'm not a disappointment to Zeal or to the people around me, but it's still hard nonetheless to be supposing to do one thing and not be able to do it because I'm here. And I also know that other personalities, like I've said, have disappeared. So I don't know when's my last day, and it's scary.
How long have you been around for?
Long time. About 16 years now. It's been a while. A good half of her life.
I don't know much about dissociative identity disorder. I believe that's what it's called.
It is. Yeah. DID or MP, like you said, multiple personality disorder.
Even remotely possible or likely for you to become the main personality.
It is not probable. It is not very likely at all. But I don't know whether or not it's possible. I haven't done. I mean, we've had our therapist encounters and we've been diagnosed, and I've done some therapy and stuff, but we've never done a ton of research on the subject, despite the fact that it is who and what we are. Um, we just take it day by day, and we don't need to know what the internet says about what we have. We are what we are and who we are, and we do what we do. So no, not really. I'm not sure. Um, but I mean, if a personality can disappear, then I'm sure a personality can take over, although it's probably not likely. I have been around a lot, some points more than Angel, and that's a fluff. Um, I sometimes show up more than Angel, or I'm here for longer periods of time than Angel, but I've never taken over and becoming the main personality. So, like I said, I'm not sure if that's actually possible.
So you bring up a good point with the internet presenting DID a certain way. I'm sure that other media like TV shows and movies have also presented DID. What have they got right and what have they got wrong?
Well, it depends on what you're watching. Like, I haven't seen personally, I haven't seen much representation of it beyond the film Split and whatever its prequel was. Um, we haven't seen the last one yet, but I mean, it was more of a fantastical personalities. Like, it was a sorry, it was like more like yeah, fantasy than reality. It was we can have things like different voices, as you know from Kaylee. We can have different handwritings. We have different tastes in things like food sometimes. So we there is differences between us, but people say it's almost like we're sisters. There's a lot in common too. Um, and I think that everybody who has it has different personalities, and so it's I think it would be different for everybody. I don't think there's one representation. Like I said, I haven't seen much in the media, but what I have seen has been, you know, exaggerated to the fullest, and it's not always in a good light in the sense that, like, the person with the alternate personality is a murderer and they didn't know it because they blacked out and had no idea of what they were doing. And it's not great from what I have seen, but I can only imagine that every personal um, experience would be different depending on who you are and the personalities you have within you.
I'm sure you or Angel have done research into dissociative identity disorder, which is a mouthful. And
Yeah, it is.
is it common for a person with DID to have a personality of the opposite gender?
I've heard it's possible. I've heard it's also possible for them to be creatures of different entities. So, like, for example, our very first personality was an alien princess from Mars. Some people have personalities who are, fae or other things. It's not just gender, it's actual complete representation can change from one personality to another.
I know that Zeal has said that you have the best memory of all the personalities, but how do you keep in communication with the other two?
We use our phone a lot or Zeal. Zeal is our most we shouldn't rely on him as much as we do, but he is our most common form of communication. But yes, I have access to Angel's memories and Kaylee's memories. Kaylee has access to mine and Angel's, and then Angel only has access to her own. So you could possibly say that I have the best memory between the three of us, but it's only because I have access to more information. Our brain is still kind of like Swiss cheese in that there are big gaps and holes in memories, and sometimes I'll think a memory is mine and it turns out to be Angel's or something like that. So it's hard to keep things straight, but we'll use our phone and type in notes to leave ourselves between ourselves, or we'll tell Zeal, hey, remember to tell the other girls this, or um we used to write notes on our computer as well, but of course, phones have made that a little more handy. And yeah, we just recently have started communicating more, like I said, because Zeal has been a huge help with that. But it wasn't until the last few years that we have managed to communicate and agree and talk the way that we
From what I understand, you are the personality that has the teeth. Is that accurate?
do. It would be. I have calmed down a lot in the last few years, but yes, I definitely have the teeth in the group.
Do you have an example that you would like to share of someone not believing you when you tell them you're not Angel?
I made the mistake of spending a lot of time being Angel and not declaring who I was to people. Kaylee does not have that luxury because again, she has a different voice. But like a lot of the times up until recently, a lot of the times we would go by Des on the day to day and I wouldn't tell people I was around. I would just kind of be there. And so I wouldn't declare myself as not Angel. And so that never really came up. It was more the difficulty of Angel having to explain later why she doesn't remember a conversation with a certain person or doesn't remember meeting them at all. Um, that things get a little more complicated.
What caused you to grow out of that habit?
Zeal. Sorry. Give me a second. My cat's on my keyboard. All right. Um, yes, so Zeal has helped a lot with that. He's helped us come to terms with um being who we are and having people accept us for that rather than having to hide and worry about it. Um, he's helped me come a long way personally when it comes to my personality and, like I said, calming down because I used to be a defense mechanism. I used to be around only when she really needed it, and then I started coming out more and more. So I started, developing my own personality and learning that I can't be on edge all the time because it creates a lot of stress for our body and for our mind, and it wasn't healthy. And so I've learned to calm down and I've learned to make friends and I've learned to love Zeal and it's been an experience.
Has Zio also caused Kaylee to come out more often?
Kaylee comes out more often, yes, but again, I think it's just because we've come to a point where we come and go at random intervals. It's not just as it was before in emergency situations. And so I don't know if that's because Angel has opened up about it more and has, decided that she's better off accepting us than fighting us, or if that's just a matter of circumstance. Kitty toes.
You said that you have access to Kaylee's and Angel's memories, correct?
Yes.
I wasn't able to stay for the whole stream due to work. How did Kaylee's first stream on Monday go?
Not very many people showed up. I mean, people did show up. You showed up. A few other people came to say hi. But she didn't stay very long. She enjoyed herself for the time that she was there. But I think if it was a bigger stream, like, our birthday stream, which is coming up, I don't think she would have been able to stand for much longer than she did. I think she was online for like 2 hours. And I think that was only because she had friends with her who did, stay on voice chat and help motivate her and keep her staying positive instead of nervous and freaking out.
My mind is very weird. My mind is very weird, so I'm sorry if this is a complete jump for you. Do you have do any of you have friends that the other ones don't have?
Not really. We try and make it so that if we're friends with someone, all of us are friends with someone so that it doesn't cause drama. Um, but again, there's some people, sorry. There's some people that didn't know I was me once upon a time. And so that made things a little more difficult when I had to finally introduce myself to some people and say, hi, you've been dealing with me for the last couple of years, but you didn't know it. Ha. But yes, so now we try and introduce ourselves as openly and honestly as possible. And so when you meet one of us, we try and make it so that you meet all of us.
This is probably going to be the penultimate question. Does anyone ever believe that all of you are faking it?
Oh, yeah. There have definitely been some people that have been like, you're exaggerating or you're asking for attention or this is just total bullshit altogether. There are some friends that I've lost over it. There are some family members that treat me not badly, but differently because of it. Um, and so, yeah, it's definitely a problem, but I can only do so much and I can only be myself. And if people don't realize that that is different from Angel and from Kaylee and that we have this, then it's like trying to argue over the color of the sky. You can be staring at it and be correct in saying that it's blue, but if that person is going to keep fighting with you and telling you that it's green, then there's only so much you can do, right? So we try not to bother with the negative and the people who refuse to believe us because, I mean, again, there's no point in trying to convince them and fighting with them. If they want to believe that it's all bullshit, then they can do so, and then we just don't need them in our lives.
That's the final question to all my chats, whether they be at the table or scripted conversations. Do you have anything or anyone you would like to shout out at this time?
I'd like to shout out you. You're my brother, and I absolutely adore you. Not, unfortunately, my brother by blood, but we've accepted you as our brother, and we're very happy that we were able to come on this conversation. We'd like to also shout out Zeal because he's amazing, and I wouldn't be where I am without him. Um, and hello to all your fans. Thank you for watching.
May all your schemes and heroics be plentiful until we clash again. This is Fjook Enterprises' table, and we'll see you next time at the table.